Yo, what up? It's your boy Owen JJ Stone, aka O Doctor. All the patients in the land. It's another Monday, so that means more medicine for you. And this time, I'm actually talking about something. Let me tell you a story. I was about to tell you something else. Let me tell you a story. I talk about my dad a lot, right? Awesome, great guy, because that's all I've ever said, really. My dad had a period in his life around 4 years where he was just a screw up. Instead of using a cuss word, he just messed up. He got addicted to drugs. He went to jail. Nothing like super duper hard criminal stuff, but stuff you do when you get addicted to drugs, like stealing and crap like that, and speeding tickets and not paying them. So before that, he was an engineer. He was in the Air Force. Great job, all this kind of stuff. He just had a bad period in his life. And when he went to jail, he actually quit drugs cold turkey. Like, he was doing hardcore drugs too. When he went to jail, he stopped doing drugs. So when he got out, he couldn't get a job because he was a criminal. Now, being a mechanic, an engineer, none of that stuff does any good for you once you're a criminal in the United States of America. So he started his own business, and that's what he did for the last 12 years of his life. He worked for himself, well-trusted, hardworking. Was working for himself to the day he died a few months ago. And the reason I tell you this is that I was at a conference last week, and I reconnected with a gentleman that was there, and his whole thing is about people and the way the government handles the criminal system in the United States of America. So basically, if you go to jail, your kids end up going to jail, and then their kids end up going to jail, and then their kids end up going to jail. So instead of trying to stop this cycle, the government just makes more jails. So as dumb as that sounds, I'm a huge proponent of helping people, even if it's just extending a tweet or mentioning something to somebody. But the biggest thing we have a problem with in America is helping ourselves. We can't help ourselves. So I hate sending money to Haiti. I'm sorry. I said it. I know they need help. I know people do it. But I'm like, we can't even fix our own problems. I hate sending money into outer space because we can't fix the earth that we live on. Hurricane Katrina, people were still, nothing there is fixed. World Trade Center, we still haven't built anything. I mean, we can't get our own shit together, but yet we're supposed to go and help and save the rest of the world. I have a huge problem with that. This guy, Andy Dixon, is trying to do something to help stop kids from growing up in this cycle. So I want to stop talking, and I want to play the rest of his video. Just do me a favor. Follow the guy on Twitter. His website sucks at the moment, but he's getting rebuilt. Don't think about that. Think about a way that you can help fix this problem. If you can even do anything to help fix this problem, do that with yourself. Do something positive. Do something useful. Today, this Monday, make yourself useful. Follow Andy Dixon on Twitter. He's a super amazing guy, and I'm going to stop talking so you can listen to his message about it. Follow him, or I'll smack you. I'm out.
So Andy is passionate about a number of things, and he's going to talk a little bit about what prison and Twitter have in common among his other passions.
Thank you, Gio. Hey, everybody. Since we don't have a whole lot of time here, I'm going to talk like a machine gun firing up here, if it's okay. As Gio said, I was in prison for quite a long time, but before any misconceptions are out there, it wasn't because somebody came into church and grabbed me by my leg and pulled me out of the pulpit and threw me in jail. I come from a long line of thieves and crooks. My father was in prison, my grandfather was in prison, my uncles were in prison, and all through my life I was told, you're going to prison. Guess what? I went to prison. So my point is that when kids are young and they're in school or in their neighborhoods, if we do not let them know that we care about them, there are street gangs out there that are going to say, you know what, I like your stuff. Come and hang out with us. That's their first entry into crime. That's their first entry into the penitentiary system. Now, I work with an organization, and we're with the Generational Incarceration Project, Breaking the Cycle. The ideal of this organization is to keep these kids out of prison. Now, the government, in its infinite wisdom, has decided that to prevent overcrowding in state and federal prisons, they have to calculate how many beds they're going to need in the future. Now, what really got my goat was when I found out that our government counts children of parents in prison, and they use a number between 50 and 70%, depending on which region of the country they're in, and they build beds for those children. But they give no money to help those kids go to school and later on to college, where they know they can keep these kids out of prison. It's decimating neighborhoods all over the world, or in the United States, which, you know, United States is a huge prison archipelago. They're everywhere. They're mainly in these small towns where people used to be farmers. Now they are farmers of human beings. And a lot of those people do not need to be there. They're there for reasons that would be called mental health reasons. They have drug addictions. These people need treatment. They don't need prison. And to keep them there, you turn them into what I call super criminals. They get in there, they get nothing handed to them, they get angry, and then when they get out, everybody wants to act surprised when they do something terrible to somebody else. Well, my ideal is to stop generational incarceration. If we can keep these kids out of prison, thank you. Thank you. If we can keep these kids out of prison, think of all the victims that will never be. The quiet ones. You won't hear somebody get up and say, I was robbed, raped, my sister, brother murdered. Because these kids, guess what? They went to college. Did you know that just 4, not years, 4 credits. If a kid gets 4 credits of college, he doesn't go to prison. 4 credits, people. That's not a lot. The government could help a kid get 4 credits. Now, that doesn't say that some guy that goes to college doesn't go to prison. I think Madoff went to college, you know. But what it does say is the people that I'm talking about, the inner city kids, the poor kids, the kids in these little rural areas that have nothing but boredom, you know, and they go into different weird stuff. But the ideal is breaking cycles. We have too many dysfunctional cycles in our nation that can be handled and taken care of when we as a people come together and decide to take care of those things. Prison yard and Twitter, real quick. When you walk into prison, I don't care if you were a banker, lawyer, or a guy that broke into the store and stole a Pepsi. When you walk into prison, you get a number. That number goes on your back, and that's it. No one cares if you had money on the street. No one cares if you were poor. I mean, you can in prison, you can be a jet pilot if you want to. Anything your mind can conceive, you can be in prison. You know, you can tell any story. But the point is when you get in there, your word better be good. Because you live or die in prison based upon your word. Your word has to be good. If your word's not good, you can't hang out with the people on the yard. They're not going to let you. And one of the first things I noticed about Twitter when I got on it was that people that are real negative and always just shooting things down, and they tweet all this negative stuff, you don't see them long. They don't last long. But the people that are out there putting out that positive note and saying things like, you know, if you're having a bad day, look at the sunshine, let the warmth hit your face, and you're going to feel better for the rest of the day. These little positive affirmations, man, people follow the heck out of them. So the negative people, no one's watching them because their word and their energy is in a weird place, man. I mean, they're energy vampires, you know. And Twitter won't accept energy vampires, which is really cool. So keep your word, be about your word, and I don't care what you're putting out there on Twitter, you're going to be successful with it. I mean, ever since I got on Twitter, I've met some wonderful, incredible people. I met this lady. I saw her movie long before I met her, and I said, my God, what a healed person. You know, she had to work this stuff out, and she's one of my heroes, and I get to sit here today and see her. Now she's up here with me, and I think together we're going to break some damn cycles.
Thank you.